A cardboard box, huh? Just like Zanzibar.
It saved my skin more than a few times in outer heaven, too.
Getting the maximum use of ordinary on-hand objects is the first principle of survival. It's especially important for covert operations.
I haven't forgotten what you taught me.
A real master of hangouts alters his strategy to cope with changes and feels of the social conditions. If you always follow the book, you'll be a bore.
I wouldn't want to be a stick in the bud.
The basic law of CQH is to provide your buds GG, GM, GV.
GG, GM, GV?
Good games, good music, and good vibes.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Get ready. Checkpoint. Congratulations.
Welcome, good hunter. I'm Cassette Blue,
And I'm Sun versus the Moon.
and this is Budsday today. Welcome back.
Hey man, how you been?
Been pretty good. What about yourself?
Doing well. We're at a new format attempt this week. We're now at the bi-weekly. We are trying out the weekly, and as much as we are enjoying it, it basically just kills every Sunday. So we're gonna we're gonna try the bi-weekly approach and see how we like this. If not, we may still mix it up. We'll see. We're experimenting with some things. I'm experimenting with some of my personal stuff on my personal stream, and we're kind of just all in flux right now. But for now, since we kind of had 2 weeks, we're kind of I actually haven't done a ton of games myself, but Cassette, what have you been
actually?
Yeah, have you been watching anything or have you been reading anything or anything like that?
Yeah, so there was a show that had been on my mind for quite a bit. There's a local artist who's been talking about this particular show on and off. A couple other people actually. But yeah, I started watching Warrior on Prime Video. It's a Cinemax show, and I guess it's originally based off of you remember that show Kung Fu back in the 70s?
Sure.
So it's based off of a Bruce Lee concept called Awesome. And they were doing that whole thing of like, yeah, we don't think a show would be marketable with the main character who has thick Chinese accent, whatever. America. But so they finally put this show together that is more or less based on that original concept of a man coming over from China in the late 1800s to San Francisco. This is like post, building all the rail connecting the two sides of the continent. And so it kind of shows the Tong Wars that were going on in Chinatown. Basically, different not crime families, but just different syndicates that are trying to control, drug and other trade in the neighborhood. And it's just kind of a really interesting look into one having some sweet fictional martial arts going on, but also showing kind of the backdrop of the late 1800s and a lot of like racial tension, especially among Chinese citizens and Irish citizens who are out of work and all that kind of stuff. It's just been a really awesome ride. I'm like almost done with season 1, going to be jumping into season 2. So far, it's just been a really, really cool show. Yeah.
Nice. Remind me of the name
Yeah,
of the
it's
show.
basically Warrior.
Warrior. Okay. On
The music
Amazon,
is
on Amazon
fantastic,
Prime.
too. Yeah, it's a Cinemax show, but I think it just comes with your regular Prime subscription.
Sub. Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Do you want to jump into the news? Or do you want to? Oh, actually, we have the. We had a little bit of a snowstorm here that we thought
Yes, we did.
we thought we'd share a couple a couple of shots with everybody. This is Cassette's shot from his neighborhood.
This was actually walking home from work that evening when I had to come back down the hill and slipping on my ass a couple of times. It was really nice snow, actually. It's like very beautiful powder. But we live in an area with very precarious vertical movement, so definitely did my best not to break a tailbone going through there. But even at night, you get just this like very beautiful, like even brightness from all
Yes.
the atmospheric fog.
Yes, I took some shots. It was like 1 a.m. and it looked like this is wild.
Hmm.
I love when it first snows because we live in the city, so I'm used to just hearing cars and helicopters and stuff just everywhere.
Yeah,
And everything is just silenced. It's all insulated. Nobody is out there, and then everything is insulated, and it's beautiful. I love it
it
for like
really
if I don't
is.
have to go anywhere, it's great. But as soon as you get it, like okay, like it happened on like a Friday. I went and bought some groceries, but only like enough to last me through Sunday. I didn't know it was gonna like hit me until Tuesday. I had like the very last day. I'm like, okay, this is it of my fresh food. You know, I had some like stuff from like the pandemic and whatnot. You know, non-perishables, but nothing that was like fresh food, so I was gonna have to break into that stash. But luckily, it all melted by that Tuesday. This is my car. This is what. I guess we can just zoom in. But you can see this is like the wheel. You can see how high the snow was. It was nuts, man. And then this is like stacked up fully on top of it. This was my neighborhood. It's so wild to. I'll send these to Cassette so we can hit these with the full screen. Oh, I probably shouldn't
Yeah.
zoom in. But yeah, you can see the amount of snow around. This is just some of the trees. Let me just zoom into this tree. I love the way the trees look. I feel you when it all hits the snow. This is like our main road, kind of coming in and out, and it's pretty windy outside right now. Or you probably heard if you heard that. I don't. Some got blown around.
I heard something.
Yeah, they plow the main road. So, but once you kind of go off one street, you know, it's like you're not going anywhere. But so yeah, it was pretty cool. This was one of my favorite ones that I took. This was just like this little animal, little paw prints going by. And then shout out to everybody that popped in on our Valentine's Day Just Chatting stream. I super appreciated everybody that came by. I had a blast. Y'all are super sweet, and
Look at
that
this
was
dapper man.
it was super fun. I just had a blast. So thanks again. And yeah, so I guess we're gonna just roll in. Let's roll on into the newsarino that we've been talking about for this week.
Let's do
Okay,
it.
so right now, what we talked about is kind of happening last week, and I have mixed feelings about it because I don't know if Nvidia is quite doing this as like just to make money, which obviously they are, but okay, so last week, I think was it the last week or the week before we were talking about Nvidia and how the latest thing was people were purchasing
Pretty sure it was the previous podcast, but
yeah, they're
a
purchasing
couple weeks ago,
laptops.
yeah.
They were purchasing laptops, and it was to Ethereum mine, and it was getting to the point where you could take their laptop in to a coffee shop and mine for a little bit and use the energy.
Use their power so it doesn't cost you anything.
Exactly. Well, so the 3060, it is arguably going to be Nvidia's best seller, right? It's going to be the 399 target. It's a 2070 super equivalent performance for 399, so that's pretty rocking. And what they're doing is they're nerfing the mining capabilities of Ethereum for the 3060. Now, at first, you think, okay, it's at a driver level. Well, no, they say it's like a secure handshake from all the way from the driver level down to the BIOS. Well, my first instinct instantly is there are companies that write like Linux drivers, right? That write like their own custom drivers. They can write their own custom BIOS. these companies make bazillions of dollars mining, right? You think they're just going to roll over and not pay engineers to write their own BIOS for these things if they really needed to? I don't know. We'll see. I would, as a fan of engineering and as a fan of these type of things, I just really like to see the kind of back and forth. I find this quite fascinating. I'm very excited to see how these engineers can circumvent this, because I'm sure that they will find a way to still utilize this hardware. The question is, so let's back up. What NVIDIA is doing, they're instead of releasing, having miners buy up all of the stock of the 3060s, they're releasing a remind me of the name, the crypto mining processor, CMP.
Cryptocurrency mining processor, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, so they're having a dedicated piece of hardware, which they've done in the past. They did the 1060 version. It's exactly like we said before. They're headless. You know, they don't have VGA out. They're just like a render unit. You just put them in a device on PCI Express, and it works just like an additional processor, right? It does its thing. It knows how to handle the hash, and it mines. it does its work. So what they're doing here is they have a dedicated CMP that they're going to sell to miners. Because it's super windy outside. What they did before was the miners, they sold the chips directly to the miners. And then, see, these miners are big enough. They don't need to buy like Asus cards or anything like that. They just buy the straight chip from NVIDIA, just like a board partner would. And then they have their own boards that they manufacture. They have a board is not hard to manufacture, right? I mean, of course, for you and I it would be, but a motherboard is just okay. What is the most efficient use of this hardware, right? So they have the engineers to make their own board. That's why I'm saying, if they really want to get around this stuff, they're going to be able to flash their own stuff. They're going to be able to write their own drivers, right? If they're making the board for it, then we'll see what happens. I don't know, but at the end of the day, NVIDIA still sold 3080 chips directly to miners, right? They sold in bulk masses of those chips directly to miners, and then they build their own stuff across the board. So the question is, are these new CMP chips that they're coming out with going to even be more powerful or even worth the miners' time for the 3080s that they already have, right? So let's say they want to resell, or they want to, or let's say it's a lower, not a super huge, like a multi-billion-dollar mining corporation. Let's say it's just like somebody that's buying retail cards off the shelf, and just because that's a, you have upper echelon miners, and then you have like retail miners kind of thing, where they just go out and buy out, and they'll just buy, you see what we said before, where you have like a rack of off the shelf RGB ass machines, where you don't have to have it's just like a rack full of RGB like Asus cards or whatever. So
yeah,
if those are used up, at the end of the day, if mining crashes, somebody can still go and sell those on the used market, and I can go and buy them, right? If we wanted to, they have a life after that if they wanted to. And historically, if they're smart, because mining is so energy inefficient, it is very common and actually best practice for miners to undervolt their cards and all their processors. I do that now. I have my processor undervolted. I used to run my stuff super overclocked all the time, and I have a decent overclock, but it's still not fully maxed out anymore. If you just got to play with your hardware. So if they're doing their job correctly, and they should be, because energy is the biggest cost at that point, their cards are able to be resold, right? If they wanted to. Whereas if you buy a CMP card, it can only do that, right? So those are only going to be used for that. And if mining crashes, there's no.
SOL.
It's the dumpster. It's just more landfill waste, more e-waste. That's what it comes down to. So I am of two minds about this. It really sucks. I just truly wish that they wouldn't have this option, I guess. I don't I don't know. Welcome back, everybody. I'm on call this week, so I had a couple outages alerts come through on my phone that I had to take a that took priority. So we're back. We had a little cut.
Back.
I don't exactly remember where my thought process was, but I know we were talking about 3060. I do have one more point to make about it, and then Cassette said he wanted to mention something. I just wanted to say that I'm very interested to see if the dedicated mining cards at the end of the day are going to be more powerful in mining than the 3080s that currently exist, or 3090s even, that currently 3070s even, that currently exist out in the wild. Or are they purely introducing a nerfed card so it's not going to, they said they're not going to enforce it at a driver level for the stuff that's already out in the wild. Okay, so if you're not going to nerf stuff that's out there, is the new card that's coming out going to be more powerful? If not, then you don't give anybody any incentive. Sure, new stuff, maybe new stock, cool, but I'm just really curious to see how it all plays out, like with the performance.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other thing is like the actual performance probably won't be 100% known until a few people have adopted it and given it a whirl, I suppose. My main concern is making these CMP cards. How much, like, is that going to be interrupting production of the actual 30 series cards and preventing more from getting into the market? So, like, what kind of trade-off are we seeing with these cards being produced at the same time versus, like, resupplying the market, etc.?
So I don't know if they've mentioned. Do you know? Is it on the same process node? Did they mention? I don't think they've told us yet, right?
No, I don't think so.
Then we won't truly.
We haven't seen it.
We won't truly know yet until we know. Like if it's coming out on, if they're making like the 3080s and on the new, because currently they're on the Samsung 8nm process, but they're also going to be making a new, the new TSMC 7nm. They're going to be releasing chips on that as well. So I don't know if these are going to be applied there. If it is, I mean, good luck, because that one's already packed. But the kind of the way it works is the more mature a product gets, the easier it is for them to manufacture and fab. So you inherently have, usually they would right now cut down, you would take a cut down like GA102, which is the Ampere chipset, or that you would have for the 3080. And if you cut down the GA102 die, if it has bad yields, then you could turn that into a lower quality card, for example, because you just disable some of the components that would normally be required. You don't manufacture a lower quality spec. It's organic material. As you manufacture the wafers, there's just a byproduct. You just get bad yield sometimes. So you can intelligently disable certain functionality to turn that into a different card, right? They've indicated here that the chips used for CMP could not meet the specifications of GeForce, and they don't impact overall GeForce capacity or availability. And that doesn't really tell us much. It doesn't tell us what process node it's on. Again, historically, this is a 3060. Or this is not a 3060, but you would, if you were going to make a cut down card from like the 3060, if you were going to cut down the GA104 die to make a, if the yield wasn't there. This does say that it doesn't meet the specifications, so that kind of tells me that it's binned. These are binned chips. Maybe I'm not exactly sure. Meaning selectively chosen. Depending on the yield. But who knows? So hopefully we'll learn more about it. But at the outset, on one hand, the damage is already done, man. The GA102 is already out there. It already performs insanely well. GA104 is already out there. And it's like it's already going to happen. So whether or not they release these new ones, maybe for the next one, yes. Okay, so for the 3060 Ti, that 12 gig that this is going to replace, sure, or that this is going to be an alternative for, yes, people will be able to buy those. This seems like what that is, but at the same time, it just hurts retail Ethereum miners. Like if you wanted to do it in your off time at home, but at the same time
Right.
on that, I'm kind of on two worlds on that one. I kind of am okay with it, but at the same time also, I don't know, man. It's such a weird thing. I don't really have sympathy for cryptocurrency at the moment, but I do understand like what they try to do, but I don't know. It seems wild for me. Okay, so what we're going to talk about is, we just wanted to bring up a little update to the MetaHuman facial rigging that they did here, and Cassette wanted to bring this up, and I wasn't aware of the level of detail that they're giving access to. This is kind
Yeah.
of wild because if these tool sets are free or inexpensive, it gives the general public, kids, people that want to tinker, access to so many cool resources that you would not get access to unless you were at a school or had you worked at a developer or whatever that had these kind of specific tools built. This is awesome for people's accessibility.
Yes, it is. And it's really cool because, like, the first thing that comes to mind for me with a lot of this stuff, MetaHuman is put together with Epic has over the past several years purchased 3 Lateral and Cubic Motion. They've all been working on advanced rigging and animation for uh, film and video games and all that kind of stuff. I always think back to like using special effects CGI for replacing people in scenes where you don't actually need to see them up close and super detailed for like a long period of time. So it feels like a really great way to throw in a digital stand-in for actors without having to create something from scratch. But in general, just like, Epic has really been pushing for getting these amazing tools that allow you to do not just video games but filmmaking and Unreal. And the level of detail that they have in these faces, like it there's still quite a bit of uncanny valley. All the demo faces that I've seen that they've shown so far are beautiful, very lifelike. Still not quite there, but just the amount of articulation that they have built in from the get-go. And they've only really been showing us the faces, not just bodies.
Right.
Um, all these individual points that you see on just the lips, and they have all these side controls for, like, pursing your lips or pushing out your lips. You can do like individual articulation different directions. It's just
Yeah, pretty cool. Oh,
powerful and
this is
amazing.
vocal cord modulation potentially, or is throat
I don't think
swallowing? No, it's throat swallowing.
probably,
Yep.
but
Neat.
yeah, it's the fact that you can, if you're just working on an Unreal project, this is something that you would be able to just, if I remember correctly, generating your MetaHuman is done over the cloud. So you use their um, either through the Unreal toolbox that you get from the Epic Store, or maybe something on their website. You put together your person. You download 8 levels of detail
Hmm.
for like a full asset, like you had said, making this amount of power available to not just professional developers but even students.
Yes.
I mean,
Non-students,
it's
regular people.
regular old
I would
people
love
like
to have
this.
had something like this when I was a kid, man. I wanted to go to like school and learn things like this. School for this didn't exist, Like this is awesome. This is so cool.
Well, and they had also mentioned, I don't think it's on this page, but another one, that these metahumans are the facial rigging is compatible with. I don't remember the name of the specific tool, but
Oh,
Unreal does have a facial tracking tool that you can use for like potentially having a metahuman as a VTuber
cool.
persona for your stream or something like that. So yeah, I don't know. Like this, as long as you put like a really good lip sync library. I mean, you don't even really need lip sync library for just recording the facial animations and just playing them from that. But future is getting more and more exciting, in my
Definitely.
opinion, and this development stuff. It's really going to save a lot of people a lot of time, and kind of put their resources and effort into other parts of their projects. It's looking good.
Cool, man. So let's transition and talk about Mortal Kombat. Did you
Mac
watch?
was very excited for this.
So in this trailer, I was a little nervous that they were gonna make it too over the top and too serious, right? Because you got to have the cheese. And did you hear they weave in a little bit of the theme song? Like it's there. It's just ever so slightly.
I think I missed that specific part.
Gotcha.
I was distracted by a whole bunch of other stuff in the actual preview.
I watched the whole thing. We'll go over some things, and the one thing that stood out. Well, was there anything that stood out to you immediately? Immediately. Yes.
I don't know. There's so many things.
I'm talking
that
immediately. That was just like no, like anything you just didn't like. Anything that just was anything at all. Because there was one thing for me that was instant.
Not that I could think of, but let's hear what you had.
Get over here.
Yeah.
It is so lame. It is so timid. I know they're having the, like no disrespect, but I know I had heard Max comment on this as well, because it for somebody, if you play these games, you heard that get over here, and it was not Ed
Max
Boon.
We're referring to Maximilian Dude.
Maximilian Dude, yeah, thank you. Because everybody's gonna have this reaction though. If you're super into this, then and it's always been Ed Boon. No matter what, it's always Ed Boon. The get over here is always Ed Boon. And they, I had this for Cassette. We'll give it a little tease. Get over here. Yeah, like that is always Ed Boon, man. And it was so funny when I saw that trailer, because I'm like, oh, I liked everything about it. Some of it was a little cheesy, or not cheesy enough. I mean, like, man, I gotta say, I really liked some of what they did with Sub-Zero and the newer Sub-Zero and Scorpion. Did you play any of the newer Mortal Kombats at all?
No.
Oh,
it's been since the first game that I've played.
Oh, okay. Well, the story is actually pretty fun in the actual the new Mortal Kombat games. I'm not super into NetherRealm games. I don't like the dial combo system, but the actual I find them actually a little bit over the top with the gore porn as well. They're a little bit too gnarly. Most of the time, it's like when you do the X-ray attacks and you shatter someone's ribs and everything like that, and then they just get up. Like, what? You break their face, shoot them with a gun, they just get up. Like, okay, I don't know.
I've never really been into the X-ray stuff.
Yeah, me neither.
No.
But anyway, the movie itself. So my point was, I loved what they do with Sub-Zero and Scorpion, though. I think it's super fun what they do in the games. So seeing in this one, the costumes are cool and everything. I do love. I like the new Raiden. Not Christopher Lambert. The Highlander in there. I think that one looks great. Let me see what. So here's the I am Sub-Zero. I can handle it. That Sub-Zero fight, I still vividly remember it. I loved the original Mortal Kombat movie. I was such a big fan, and it was so cheesy. At the very end, when Shang Tsung, they're leaving. I'm sorry, Shao Kahn. You see his picture or his image at the very top. He's like, "You weak, pathetic fools!" And every time I was like, "Yeah!" You run out the theater, like, "Ah!" As a kid, it was so fucking sick, dude. Oh no, beeps at 17 minutes in.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So, we got some Liu Kang, some Kung Lao. What's going on here? Is that? I don't know who that's supposed to be. This is our new protagonist, I think. More Liu Kang. Yeah, I don't know who this is supposed to be. I saw him in the movie.
Yeah.
I think he's just like a new protag, but I'm not exactly sure. We got some Sonya, and this they made Kano seem kind of like a good guy of some sorts. The part in the clip, the trailer of him fighting the three ninjas is super sick.
Yes.
I wish we could show it. Jax's arms look huge, but dude, they make him. I can't not see Steve Harvey, man. I just can't not see it. It looks like Steve Harvey is, RoboCop.
I feel so bad for him that for pop culture that comparison is going to haunt him or haunt this character at least that he's playing.
I know, but come on, man.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, come on, man.
To be fair, though, that is a nice mustache.
For sure, bud. Oh boy. Anyway, yeah, it looks. I'm sure it'll be fun. I'll watch it. I like the original. It's super cheesy. Make it over the top. There was a point where Sub-Zero like cut Scorpion. His blood went flying up. He froze the blood, turned it into a blade. I was like, yo, that was pretty sick, man.
Ice blood knife. I am here for that. I have to censor myself. It's funny, like thinking about video game films, especially in the more recent years. For whatever reason, one, I think it was Jezebel had that article that was talking about like, you know, the people that put together Mortal Kombat, where's Chun-Li? And then they like
oh my goodness
their article at the end say, oh, apparently Chun-Li is in Street Fighter. Our bad.
Thank you for bringing that up. Oh my goodness, I was so triggered. Yeah, I know.
But okay, so I haven't seen The Legend of Chun-Li, that movie, and I think I've seen enough around it that I never will see it, thankfully. But I have also seen the original Street Fighter movie that they had, like, what was that, the late 80s, early 90s with Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah.
And crap, what's his name? The best dude ever.
Raul Julia?
Yeah, absolutely. So like that movie completely over the top, beautifully so. It kind of feels like a lot.
I don't know about
recent...
beautifully so. That one's a pretty bad one.
I might need to rewatch it. I'm
Mortal
very
Kombat's,
willing to rewatch
in my memory, Mortal Kombat is so much better than Street Fighter.
Well, I might have to rewatch all those then. It's been a long time. But the point that I wanted to make was that it feels that a lot of more recent video game films have just felt like really bad cosplays of all the characters and extremely thinly related, not very well developed, almost like standalone stories. This one feels like it's actually pulling in a very, like you've said, or related to how you're talking about it, very cheesy and over the top, borrowing a lot of very specific fan favorite elements from the game series, and I'm here for that. I don't need video game movies to be compelling art house films that need to be able to stand on their own. I just want to go to the theater. Well, not right now, but I want to be able to theoretically go to a theater and just enjoy the shit out of my time of just, yes, if you don't mind writing down that timestamp. I don't know. I as I grow older, I find myself only wanting to enjoy a film as just an experience instead of having to think very critically about how it is as a piece of art. And so for everything that I've seen so far of this, I'm very excited. It doesn't need to be a 7 or 8 out of 10. It just needs to be a fun time. And so I'm good.
I agree with you. If we can have some good times, then we can have some good times.
Yeah,
I think everybody went through that.
That's actually my voice yelling, "Get over here!" From the game.
No, is that true?
Yeah.
Oh my god, could we hear it quickly?
Get over here!
Oh my god, that was.
When he's like, "That's actually my voice yelling, get over here."
That's awesome.
Yeah. So for our, we're gonna transition over to this kind of bit of just, it's like an Onion article, you know? It's one of those, like, the band Metallica, who was instrumental in the record industry's demise of Napster, overt overreach of the music industry, and current state of affairs, they had the opportunity to play in the Blizzard opening ceremonies, and in order to avoid a DMCA strike, Twitch proactively played music that was not theirs over their stream. and it
Yep.
was delightful. Care to have a taste?
Hit us with it.
Rocking out, dudes.
I don't feel bad at all.
No way, man.
This is incredible. I don't know. I have a little bit that I could say about this that isn't specifically related to the whole Twitch thing, but I'm gonna let you say your stuff
No,
first.
please go for it.
It's just oh, it just comes back to that whole thing of like especially with Napster being mad, and this also comes back to pirating of video games as well. People getting mad at us, and I mean a relatively small number of individuals. I know that you know pirates number in the thousands or even 10,000s maybe, but for a lot of big name titles, big name albums, etc., you're going to be looking at sales figures in the high five, high six figure, sometimes low seven figure numbers. um the fact that these artists get so mad at the individual pirater, infinitely more so than they would ever get mad at their publisher or the label that they're in contract with for not fairly uh, reimbursing them for the sales that their art generates. It's just, I just don't get it, man.
It's a lost sale. They would have never gotten a sale in the first place. If somebody
True.
downloads your music, very rarely would they have purchased your music, unless it's accessible or whatever. But the main thing that you will do is just destroy a fan. I'm not promoting it. I'm just saying the reality of the situation is, as somebody who has lived that life, who now has the ability to, subscription services are pretty cool for us as users. I think that's awesome. But as somebody who has participated, you will find somebody will develop as a fan, will purchase merchandise, will purchase a live ticket. There are other ways to, as somebody who goes to many live shows frequently, I will always buy, if a band comes to town, I'm going to go see them play that I like. I'm going to go, I'm going to buy their t-shirt. I'm going to buy their merch. And I'm not buying music these days. I'm not buying anymore. I'm streaming music for sure, and they do get revenue from that. But the time, I'm not spending like $20 on an album anymore. I'm spending, a monthly subscription to access a variety of content. Now, I have no idea what the payout is for my small amount of clicks. If it will ever reach what they would have purchased, maybe truly, I don't know how many pennies they get per click, per how many fractions of a penny they get per click.
Yeah,
right?
I was gonna say it's definitely fractions of a penny.
Right. So, in the long term, it'd be fascinating to see how, on some artists that I play like a lot, if it would equate to a CD's worth of purchases, which I maybe in a lifetime, sure. I'm truly
I
curious
was
to
gonna
see.
say, yeah, it feels like that the amount of money that they would get from your playing of the specific set of songs or an album is probably going to be over the lifetime of you listening to that album for years instead of all up front at once when you purchase the album, right?
Correct. I will always go see them live, and I will mostly buy a T-shirt if it's cool. You know what I mean? So I will always I like to get ancillary things out of it. My main purchase when it comes to music is not the direct music, because it's all subscription. I purchase so much less these days directly, unless it's a specific small group that I want to give more money to,
Yeah.
That is a unique thing that does happen. There are specific artists that I 100% will buy their limited pressings, or, if they have releases, things like that, for sure. But again, that's just more merch. That's not the actual music at the end of the day. I'm doing that because they're also providing a thing for me to have. They're providing a collectible, it's worth my time and energy and money to do that. we're wildly on a tangent here. It's mostly about monetization when it comes to music these days. But I just found it so delicious and hilarious that it was Metallica of all bands, and that Twitch did it proactively. Excuse me, and it was just a big fu to the entire situation. Okay. So now we're going to talk about the Nintendo Direct that happened. We're kind of going to skim over. We're not going to get too detailed into it. We definitely could. The Verge just provided a nice little overview, and we're just going to kind of scroll down and see what we saw from the announcements. I do recall Pyra's in Smash. That's pretty cool. It's Pyra and Mithra actually. It's just another sword character though, so who knows? They're probably going to be OP. They're going to be awesome. I'm delighted to see it. Who cares?
Yeah. It'll be fun. I'm sure people are pissed off, or they're gonna be, but
Oh, for sure.
whatever. Yeah.
Skyward Sword is coming to Switch, which is pretty cool. It's one of the few that I know people don't like it, but I never played this one. It's one of the few. Actually, you know, Cassette, I was thinking about it. This is the 35th year anniversary of Zelda. I was considering what if if we were considering like playing a Budsday game together, we could focus on the Zelda series and maybe kind of discuss. We could have Budsday focused Zelda discussions, maybe. Something to spitball.
That could be interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm definitely going to be coming into Zelda as like a brand new player. I mean, I've barely ever played like a teensy bit of A Link to the Past, a teensy bit of this.
Well, in that case,
I like that idea.
Yeah. Maybe. I still need to finish Twilight Princess on stream. I'm like very end of it. I got to wrap that up. Regardless, yeah, so we can maybe touch on that. I mean, also, if you could do A Link to the Past, you got to do A Link Between Worlds.
Yeah.
The Nintendo 3DS game. It's like a direct sequel, and it's very, very, very good. Splatoon 3 got announced. That was pretty cool. Did you watch this trailer?
I did.
Very
I don't
good
really
trailer.
know too much about like the story of Splatoon, but I've seen the gameplay of 2.
I
But
loved
that's kind of my
the way
only
that
really.
the way that they did the character creation with like the changing. Did you see that? The menu creation?
I've only seen stills of that part.
Okay, it was very good. I highly recommend watching this trailer. We got claimed. We kind of learned our lesson with the Resident Evil trailer, so I can't really play these right now, but
Yeah.
I invite you to go take a look. Okay, Mario Golf got announced, and this is pretty fun. I love golf games. I love golf video games. I think they're super fun. If you've never played a game called Golf Story on the Switch, I highly recommend giving it a try. It's a little it's like a JRPG style game, but the battles are golf courses, I guess.
Which is wild to me, but that also sounds really fun spins on the RPG system are always a good time. So
Yeah, it's
I
very
might
fun.
have to give that one a go.
You definitely should. Like the different courses are the lands, like the zones, you know? Yeah, it's very
I'm
cute.
into this.
Anyway, Mario Golf. Mario Golf is I love the Mario game. The Mario sports games are super fun. Mario Kart is delicious. Mario Tennis is super fun. I got to play more of that on stream. I want to play more of it on my off time too. I'm a big Mario fan. I don't really do like a ton of it on stream just because I don't know if they get actual kind of numbers, but it'd be interesting. They also introduced kind of like it's like a sprint mode. Did you watch this trailer?
Yeah, I did. I didn't really catch exactly what was going on with that, but it seems to have a sort of race mechanic in between. I
It's like
know
speed
nothing
golf.
about golf.
It's
Yeah,
just like speed
okay.
golf. It's whoever you just go. You're all doing all your courses at one time, but we don't know if you can do like if there's going to be some like platforming, or if there's going to be some like I don't know if you mess with the other people or whatnot. It did seem
I
like it
hope
was.
so.
I don't know if I heard that it was local multiplayer only though, which would be a huge bummer. Animal Crossing new stuff for Mario stuff. Did you get the Luigi outfit already?
No, I haven't booted up Animal Crossing in a few weeks.
Wow,
I might need to do that this week.
because that's a big
In
Animal
fact,
Crossing.
I
fan.
will do that this week.
Cool. This made me want to actually boot it up. I thought this was so cute. I want all this stuff. I don't know. We'll see if I do. Fall Guys coming to Switch. Okay.
All right.
Pyra. Yeah. Hyrule Warriors expansion pass. I haven't played that
Okay.
one. The Muso. Outer Wilds, man. I'm looking to play this on PC. I heard it was,
Yeah.
Pep. I think Pep was playing, and Pep was talking about playing it as well.
She
Shout
was.
out Pep. Shout
No,
out Pep
she actually
Squirrel.
played it a bit.
Heck yeah. We'll have to check some of that out. I was interested in PC. I probably wouldn't play it on Switch though.
Right.
These are two old Famicom detective games called Famicom Detective Agency. Is that what it was? Club.
Famicom Detective Club. Yeah.
Yeah, it's two like Danganronpa visual novel mystery style games.
I'm so
are you
excited to
interested in
try
these?
these out. I am super getting this. Yes, absolutely.
So tell us about it. Tell us about your interest.
I don't know too much about these games. I kind of want to just jump into it with as little knowledge as possible. But I had recently finally tried out Phoenix Wright, and I've been really wanting to try Danganronpa. A lot of people had recommended it over. How long has it been out now? The first one, like some years at this
Yeah.
point. And then our friend Miss Meowsy
Shout out
has
Miss
been
Meowsy.
working on the first one for the past while, and sadly I can't watch her stream right now because I want to be able to play that fresh too. But I think for whatever reason now I'm just kind of starting to get into those text adventures.
Cool.
You know, it's kind of
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll stream them because I want to be able to concentrate on them more. So it
Yes.
might be more of a record myself playing on my own time, and then I can share that for the podcast or elsewise. But yeah, really looking forward to these two.
Cool.
Yeah.
No More Heroes 3, man. When this reveal happened last year, I still really liked this the interaction between the alien and fudge. What's it? Travis Touchdown. And between him and Travis Touchdown. Yeah, so I have actually never played a No More Heroes game. I didn't own a Wii at the time, and I never really gave him a go. Although I am interested in playing this, I wonder if I could play them on my Wii U, maybe. But I think the store is closed, so I can't download it, so who knows? Anyway, I'm interested in checking this out. It looks kind of all over the place. If I can come in or maybe get a recap, I'll watch some videos maybe if I need to. But I'd like to play the first two leading up to it. Monster Hunter Rise is looking fantastic. I'm way more on board even. We've got a new Spider-Man here. The Spider-Man looks super cute. Looks super great. I love what they're doing with it. I'm excited to see more. And there's really not like a ton to talk about, I guess. But we've talked about Monster Hunter a ton. We know it's going to be fun as heck.
My first jump into that series, I think I've mentioned before, was with World, and I haven't gotten to fight anything other than really like dinosaurs and a few other fantastic monsters. But if I get to finally fight some insects, that'll be kind of cool. Some big old bugs. I'm into that.
Stubbs the Zombie was an old original Xbox game. I played it then. Cassette was mentioning that you were interested in playing it. I probably
never played it. I've always wanted to.
I'm really curious. I still have my original Xbox. I could probably boot it up, and I'm curious if it works because you could probably just hook it up to like the HDMI and then stream it if you really wanted to.
That might have to be the way that I do it.
You could use the big Duke controller.
Oh God, please no.
You don't want to pay.
I don't need to be that immersed in the original Xbox experience again.
I promise you don't want to pay a lot of money for this game. It was fun, it was cute, but fair. I can't in all good consciousness let you buy it if I can provide it for you to play. The Neon White. Oh, this was that first person like card game. Did you see this? It was so weird.
I didn't really catch what was going on with it.
It looked kind of neat, but there was no character model or anything. It was just cards, and it would like shoot like effects coming out of the cards. So it was like a lower budget, obviously. The characters looked pretty cool though. I liked the way that they looked. Fortunately, it's probably not for me though.
Yeah.
Plant vs. Zombie coming out. I mean, yeah, it's cool. Not really for me either. Okay, baby. Project Triangle Strategy. Now there is a demo that exists, and Cassette and I have not had a chance to touch it yet, so we will make sure we do it this week so we can fully report back and give it some dedicated time, not just in a blurb here. So we'll just real quick, my instant view was that, oh my gosh, it's Octopath font. Okay. it looks like Octopath, so it's got those Square vibes straight away. And then you watch it play, and you got like, oh wait a second, it looks like Final Fantasy Tactics. Oh wait a second, I see some world interaction like Divinity, and then they have some of like the Phoenix dive type moves and whatnot. And I truly don't know.
I saw that as I rewatched it today. Yeah.
Yes, I can't fully expand and talk about this yet, but I will play the demo. I promise I will play the demo because I'm very excited about it. Just it's been a busy week. Yes, this is my absolutely most anticipated game right now. This I cannot wait for this.
So I've barely played Tactics Advance, not Advanced, Tactics Advance. And I played Front Mission, and obviously you and I played Divinity 2 together. If it's anything like Tactics plus Div, I am super in. If that's what the combat boils down to.
Well, also Tactics story is super good. And Octopath story, I've panned it more than once and I've talked down on it. But the more that I actually got to experience it, Octopath, there is not one big grandiose story. They've kind of at the very end, there's like a boss rush that you can do, and fight your way into like a hidden secret ending. They reveal a little bit more in depth about the world, but at the end of the day, it's not a grandiose save the world kind of story. These are 8 individual people and they have 8 individual stories and you're able to experience them. So I thought it was actually, I kind of liked it more and more, but just when you go into it, you know what to expect. So if they actually give this one kind of like some huge story or whatever, boy, oh boy, I'm in. Star Wars Hunters. What was this one? Was this oh, they didn't show us. Was this the shooter? Yeah.
It was not much of a in-depth reveal whatsoever.
Right. It was just a CG kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Knockout City. The dodgeball game? Yeah, I saw a few bits of this. I don't think I was super too impressed. Okay, and then we have World's End Club, and this looks like another visual novel like we were talking about earlier with the Famicom Detective Club. This is by the same folks that created Danganronpa and Zero Escape. We got a physical edition of Hades. It's pretty cool. Now, this one is pretty dynamite. So, Ninja Gaiden is coming to Switch. The first 2 Ninja Gaiden games are still so good. The third one, I can't recommend it. The only problem I have with this is that you can play these on, if you have an Xbox, man, the backwards compatibility, you can play these at 4K right now. If you got a PC, RPCS3, you can play these at 4K right now. I can't. Yeah, it's fun. It'll be on the go, I guess. But on a game like this, I wouldn't want to use the Joy-Cons anyway, so who knows? I was doing a playthrough of Ninja Gaiden again on RPCS3 on stream, and I do need to finish it up because, boy, oh boy, we're going to be talking about Nioh in a little bit, and it is like the next level evolution of the Ninja Gaiden kind of gameplay. If you no jumping around, obviously Ninja Gaiden's very aerial. Izuna drop. The Izuna drop. Super OP. Once you learn it, you can kind of abuse it. Anyway, do you have any thoughts on this one?
No, yeah, partly because I've never gotten to play a Ninja Gaiden ever. Whether the old ones or the more modern ones.
Not even the Nintendo.
I figured that this would be something that would be right up your alley. So at the very least, I would like to watch it. I think one of these days I do have to actually play it, though. I don't know. We'll see.
I would love to watch.
There's too many things to play.
Correct. And I think that was that's about wrapped it up for the Nintendo Direct. And I guess that'll. Do you have anything else?
Yeah, just a couple of things actually. Legend of Mana and
Legend
of Mana, Saga Frontier.
Where were those at? Were they not on here? Oh, wow.
They may not have been on there. Legend of Mana. Oh my god, I keep saying it. Yeah, so Legend of Mana and Saga Frontier are getting remastered. I'm looking forward to that. I had tried playing Legend of Mana a long time ago, and for whatever reason, just never stuck with it. But like, I was always drawn in by. I enjoyed the combat system, and I love the art style. I think I just needed to be in the right headspace for it. Saga Frontier is a game that I've always wanted to try, that a bunch of my buds back in school loved, so it'd be cool to be able to go back and experience that. And Capcom Arcade Stadium is also coming out, which has a bunch of shmups in it, so I'm very excited. Definitely getting that. I don't know how it's going to be playing a vertical oriented game on a Switch, but whatever. You just have to do it.
For me, Legend of Mana and Saga Frontier were two games that, man, when they came out in the place, I worked at Software Etc. It was like a like Babbage's or GameStop kind of place, and I had easy access to all those games. So if they were not like instantly good, I just passed. You know what I mean? You feel me? Like I loved Secret of Mana. I played Seiken Densetsu 3. You know, I imported or I got the you know the ROM with the translation back in the day. Like I loved those games. But so I was very excited for Legend of Mana, and I think it was like maybe it was like the city building aspect, ActRaiser kind of aspect where you kind of plant the world down. I just never gave it a fair shake, quite frankly. Neither that or Saga Frontier. They didn't instantly grab me, so I just kind of was like pass, and unfortunately. So I would like to revisit them at some point. I do like the new aspect ratio. You know, they're saying remastered. That's a bit of a stretch for me personally, but at least it's visible in modern consoles. Yeah, I guess that'll wrap it up for our news section. We're going to take a quick break, and then we'll hit up the this week in gameplay.
Thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Cheers.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for hanging out. We're going to talk about the games that we did this week, the past 2 weeks, actually. I've been working on Resident Evil 4 for sort of a second playthrough. I had played this originally way back when it first came out with a buddy of mine, and sometimes after almost 20 years of not playing a game, you completely forget about it. So it felt like just the first time, and I have to say, even though this is a departure from how the first few games were as survival horror games, even as a survival action game, this is a really, really good game. It's still a good Resident Evil game, even. But yeah, I just amazed myself in how much fun I had with it. I had attempted it again, actually, about a month or so ago, and even in just like the first little town area, first chapter, still, I was not having it. I could not get into it. I don't know if it was the controls. It was probably just the bundles of enemies that were kind of lumbering toward me. I couldn't find my rhythm, but giving it a third go, I suppose you could say, most recently, I really fell into it. And honestly, it would be one of those things where if it weren't for schedules, I would probably stream it for 24 hours straight. This is a fun game.
Watching you play this makes me want to play this again, quite frankly. I have not played this fully. I've started this so many times throughout the years, and then I get distracted and then play something else, but I have not fully completed this game since the GameCube, I want to say.
I keep forgetting that this has been on like so many platforms.
No,
already
maybe PlayStation 2. Maybe I did play it on. Was it PS4? One of those recently. One of the newer consoles. I think I did. Maybe not, man. It's been a very long time since I did the whole thing because it's such a long game,
it really is.
So this is kind of what we were talking about. I'm sorry, you finish your thoughts first, and I'll kind of jump into my thoughts.
For sure. Honestly, it's cheesy as hell. Thinking about like the story, thinking about the dialogue. It definitely has that like post millennium sort of cheesy action flick vibe to it, which I'm honestly totally into. It works great for the environment. The controls are still good. They still hold up, honestly, on keyboard and mouse even. There's a couple of issues with mouse look feeling really wonky combined with the tank controls. You can't rotate your inventory items with the keyboard. You actually have to use the controller for that because they just didn't map a button for that for whatever reason. You can still grab an inventory item to move it around, but you can't rotate it. I don't know what's up with that. Anyway, but yeah, honestly, probably the more disappointing thing is the AI and of course the QTEs. But the one thing I discovered is that with QTEs, you can just press all the possible QTE buttons at once, and it won't fail you for pressing the wrong ones as long as you still press the right ones at the same time.
Yo,
So
there's a
that
there's a
really,
boss fight. There's like a particular boss fight. We won't talk about it specifically for spoiler reasons, but there is a boss fight at the very end, and he in particular is QTE central. And apparently, shout out Anxiety let us know that if you have it on 60, was it Anxiety let us know that if you have it on 60 frames, the QTEs are harder to activate, something like that? Yeah.
I don't remember if he mentioned the QTEs, but he definitely talked about the enemies might be more aggressive than the original 30 FPS, which is something that I've noticed in a lot of ports recently, that even then if they change the frame rate or make it variable, they still have a lot of logic that they forget to untie from that. But anyway,
Yes.
it definitely felt like QTEs were a little tight.
So I thought Cassette was a legend over here because he's just nailing all those. That boss fight one is so hard. It was infuriating my first time playing that. I vividly remember the pain. In fact, I won't get into the entire details, but it ruined the QTEs. Those QTEs ruined QTEs for me in video games, where that the Tomb Raider reboot, the very beginning of the game, in the first 5 minutes you got QTEs. I deleted it, I uninstalled, never played it again, and I've never played the series after. Maybe I will someday, who knows. Spider-Man, luckily Spider-Man is such a delightful game that I can handle some of the QTEs every now and then, but
Yes.
oh my goodness, I can't stand them because it's that specifically. But apparently Cassette was the legend and was just mashing them out, and showed me new strats all these years later, and it was super funny to watch.
It's still very
totally taking it
uncomfortable to have to go from WASDA to go to XC for some of your QTE prompts, but whatever, game. As long as I know that they're coming, I can look out for it.
So I love this game. I really enjoyed it. It was kind of okay. So I love Resident Evil. We've talked about it before. The original first three are somewhat still. I still enjoy playing Remake. I still enjoy playing RE2. RE3 is fun. But some of those, like the worm boss fight, I do struggle to enjoy. But in general, it's fun. It's not. I think RE2 is like a perfect video game. I think you can play RE2 right now to this day, and it is just nothing against Remake and nothing against RE3. Just RE2 itself, OG, is amazing. So the thing about the original trilogy is they are survival horror. They limit you on ammo a lot. You know, they limit you on resources, and they make it they punish you on certain aspects. Like in a Remake, for killing too many Zambonis, they'll come back as Crimson Skulls, more powerful versions, and they're just they encourage you to run past the monsters, to learn the maps, to be fast, to be efficient, and how you map out your routine. I want to go here. I want to grab this item. They Resident Evil games, when you play them a lot and you get good at them, are just extremely fun to play. They are so rewarding. If you don't look up any guides or anything like that, and you play a straight up RE game, some of those puzzles you'll get stuck at for hours. Some of like, oh, how do I get through this door? I don't know. And then it'll take you 9-10 hours to get through a section, and then the second time you play through it, you'll get through that mother in 2 or like 15 minutes or 2 hours, whatever. You're like, what? How did that like literally? It'll take you hours, and you'll get through in like 15 minutes. So that is
one of the main reasons I really am not super excited to go back to Resi 2 Remake, but I still need to learn that game better.
Well, that's why when you were saying to me originally, Tangent, you said that you wanted to play these at harder difficulties. I thought it was a very good idea. It's very good to play it at normal, to learn the game, be exposed to it, have ammo, and then do the progression up, because you have to keep playing them. So that's kind of the beauty of those, is that you can get really good, really efficient at playing those games, right? They're very rewarding to learn. They're extremely fun to play. But they Shinji Mikami did such a shift when they did RE4, and I also think it is the reason why most people prefer RE4 as their favorite game, because it does not make you do those things. It does not make you limit yourself, learn how to get around, efficient use of enemies. It is put you into place, and you got to kill all these things before you can progress. Often it's not always like that, but often it's like that, and it doesn't. It actually it rewards you for doing a lot more of shooting and a lot more or gunplay. Which I think is why people like it so much. I think people have an adverse reaction to the original kind of RE gameplay that I was just describing. Most people, a lot of people think about that and go, oh, well, I actually don't like the way that sounds. Well, for someone coming from a huge RE original fan, this was such a departure. And then eventually it leads to 5 and 6, which is one of the most abysmal, most disappointing, most least enjoyable things to play. And RE7, brought it back, and RE8, oh my goodness, please! I'm so looking forward to RE8. RE5 is fine, I guess, with a buddy, but again, you even if you play solo, you always have the AI companion, and spooky games are inherently just less spooky when you have a buddy. Period. So I don't dislike 5. 5 is fun to play co-op. It's inherently, all these games, 4, 5, and 6 are fun video games. All right, 6 is not a fun video game. 4 and 5, 4 is an amazingly fun video game. I just don't really love it as a Resident Evil game itself. I do love it as an RE game, but like in the fact that it does have some of the puzzles. I love the inventory management. It's got all the really fun stuff with RE, a lot of the perks. But as far as it's like not, it's not a full-on action game, right? Like the Evil Within is like what RE4 would play like with proper third-person controls, non-tank controls. And the tank controls themselves are like a kind of a pseudo version, right, of like even shooting where you're very stiff and you can't strafe. There's no strafing. It is left,
which is so hard for me.
It is insane to go back
myself from that idea.
Yeah, so as a result, though, and Shinji Mikami, they have talked about it. The AI, they artificially dumb down the AI where they'll run up to you, and like threaten you like that, but then they'll just kind of fake you out because they know how cumbersome and clunky it is. I do, boy oh boy, when they remake this game, it's going to be insane.
Which is still just a rumor.
Oh, it's happening. It's happening
for sure, but I want to hear that actual official reveal.
Everybody, yes, it is. It was only the leak that happened in December when it came out that it was taken away from M2, which was the previous developers of RE3. The kind of scary thing though is M2 wanted to leave it the same. Because of the backlash that RE3 received from the changes, but internal Capcom wanted to change it. So I'm really curious to see what they're going to do in terms of like changes, because they brought it back internally. This is what the rumor was. But anyway, to stay back on track, I've always kind of had like a love-hate relationship with this as an RE game. Also, it's so long. You can't really learn to play this game efficiently. You can for like on the harder difficulties, the bullets do get to be ammo management and everything. Yeah. But on the whole, it's nothing like RE1 through 3. Like not even a little bit in terms of speed, or you can learn it, but you never have the ability to just cut huge chunks of time out of it.
Mm-hmm. And it's kind of weird because like for me, when this was more or less my first Resident Evil way back when. And in a video game, if you give me a gun and you give me something to shoot, I have the feeling that I need to actually like kill those things, every single one that I come across. But then before I started getting back, or I guess for real getting into Resident Evil, like within the last 2 years when I got remaster, it was only around then that I had seen speedrunners play these games and see them just like run past everything and realize you don't even need to kill stuff. Like you just run past it and you're fine. Oh, okay. And then so I started getting into that rhythm of just like, trying to only like, stun things so that you can run around them or, try to leave them alone if you don't even need to get that close to them or
Yep.
anything.
Yep.
And then going back to this game, already having those strats of just like, okay, stagger, stun, knock down, knife them, learn how to do that with a group and not just an individual enemy. And once I got into that rhythm, I just realized, okay, like I can still
Look what you just did
even
right
having
there,
to kill
that whole
stuff.
group of enemies. That was awesome.
Yeah, and you can still run past a lot of the encounters in this game, which is
Oh, yeah.
great. So
Yes.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. This was just a joy to play, and
I am talking harsh on it. I do ultimately love the heck out of this game. It was such a weird departure coming from the original trilogy. That's all.
mhm.
And then of course what it led to, bro. Oh my gosh. 6 is just the biggest train wreck. Ah, painful. It's
It would
sad
have
that
been.
it
It's just go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's sad that it's the highest selling one ever of all time too. Everybody got debated so hard.
It would have been interesting to see how the series turned out if one of the original concepts that they had for 4 they had stuck with and developed it into a full release. Um, yeah. Beyond that, uh, murder is bad, accidental death is bad, but all the accidental shots that I took on Ashley were
Oh
both
my goodness.
hilarious and horrendous at the same time.
Did any of those get
Um,
clipped?
I don't know. I
I
might have
should
to
have
hunt them
clipped those.
down.
That was me, man. That was on me. There was one
Oh,
time where
it's all good.
Cassette was being, excuse me, sorry, Ashley was being picked up and he was trying to snipe the dude and he straight up got the double kill on
Mhm.
Ashley and the dude. And I was mid drink and just like perfect choice belly laugh.
It was a really good shot.
It was.
It was a really good shot. It's just the rifle is too powerful sometimes.
Sometimes it'd be like that.
Yeah. So yeah, that's Resi 4.
Cool, man.
Hopefully I'm gonna hit it up on hardcore mode soon. Um, and all the other games as well. I only have 2 other games I played this past week that I want to talk about really briefly. I got back into Wipeout after having tried it out on your VR on PSVR, which was pretty cool. And
Awesome.
after playing Ace Combat 2, seeing a couple other titles from my youth, I kind of am on this weird kick where I need to re-examine that sort of like turn of the millennium, late 90s, early 2000s aesthetic in terms of just like general design, but also like music and the way that games were back then. So I played Wipeout 3, which totally has that visual vibe to it. And even the music has that sweet, like late 90s feel to it. Um, Wipeout is a really weird game, though. I've only ever played uh, car racing games um, to any significant degree, and it is the complete wrong physics. Complete wrong physics. You absolutely are basically not really fishtailing, but you will have a lot of very sideways movement. And unfortunately, that meant when I started getting into some of the harder level or like later levels, I was running into everything, which was just setting me off way too easily. Um, the first tournament is pretty easy, but then once you get into the second, the difficulty ramps up so high. I could not keep up with it. I had to start going into the challenge mode to have single races that actually would ramp up and start actually hunkering down, learning the physics, learning how to use the different weapons and tools, how the racers actually behaved. But I really want to stick with this game a little bit more and learn it better. Cool series. I'm gonna try to play. What was it? No, XL was the second one. Whatever one it is on PlayStation 2, that's the one I'm going to give a whirl next.
They
But
have a collection on PS4, yeah.
they might. I also remember that there was a PSP version as well
Yeah,
of
I
one
have
of the
that one.
titles.
Vita as well.
Vita as well. Yeah, I might
Um,
have to do just a whole slew of exploration for this. But yeah, you have to steer with the D-pad, which
oh,
not at all fun. Yeah.
can
And
you
then
not map that and
you
overdo
use
an
your
override in the emulator?
I could try. Yeah, I'll need to figure out how I can do that with that specific emulator. I might need to try a different one. But yeah, a lot of your tight cornering is using the air brakes on the triggers. And so luckily I had already gotten used to a similar concept playing Ace Combat 2, where you have to use the triggers in order, or maybe the shoulders in the first one, I don't remember, to do the rudder or whatever. So you get that like that slight left and right turning. So I already
Mhm.
have that kind of mapped to my head. But yeah, it feels like you're constantly drifting, but as soon as you start to drift or fishtail, you're moving sideways instead of forward. So it's a lot of remapping of how you interact with racing physics.
Hmm.
But a cool aesthetic. I love it. I love this
I love Wipeout.
whole
Yeah, super
vibe.
fun to play.
Yeah,
It's great in VR.
I need to do more digging into what exactly was going on at that time in the world that it, I don't know. I'll have to bring that up another time for sure. After this, I played a demo on the PS4 called Speed Limit. I had gotten pulled into it because it kind of has that sort of uh pixel game vibe that a lot of people are going for these days. Ultra violence kind of feels like it's trying to ride the coattails a little bit of uh oh my goodness, Hotline Miami, just
Oh
very
yeah.
slightly. A slightly different vibe, but it feels like it's still going for that sort of game style where you die, you restart, you die, you restart, you keep getting a little bit further. Instead of floors, you have arbitrary checkpoints through different parts of the level. And then the demo only had two sections. So as soon as you get through this subway section, you will get onto a top-down view driving on a highway, and so you're doing a lot of maneuvering and shooting while you're driving and avoiding cars and highway barriers. Uh,
This looks fun as hell. Is it good?
I didn't enjoy it much, honestly.
Oh
To be
no.
fair, yeah. So the game, it's a lot of, for me at least, the game, probably because of playing through the Elgato, felt a little
Oh.
too sluggish, but there's a lot of tight timing for killing your enemies. You know, it's a one hit kill kind of thing. Um, and the checkpoints aren't necessarily super generous, so you have to, it's a lot of memorization
Yep. I
of
can see that.
areas, exact inputs for things. And so it was just a lot of constant die, so you're just completely stopped, rewind, start again, immediately die, stop. So it just feels a lot of stuttering in the gameplay, and so it was very difficult to enjoy. And it just felt like a lot of the way that it was built around reaction timing for avoiding obstacles or hazards or enemies, it was just like way too tight of timing. So I might give it another try on easy, but I don't think that this is something that I'm going to try to play a full version of. But I would be curious to see what other people thought. So if anyone wants to pick up the demo on PS4 and give it a try and let me know what they think, I would love to hear it. But I kind of, I don't know. Right now, I'm feeling a bit of a dud about this one.
No. Sorry to hear. It looks really cool. The animations
Yeah,
are.
I do like the vibe, or like the visual vibe of it.
Some of the stuff in front of the
There,
screen is a little bit frustrating to get through, though. Like the stuff passing in front of the visuals, it looks like it might be very distracting and hard to see through.
yeah, and there's going to be times when you're on top of the subway, and you're going to go through tunnels, and so you just see like the silhouette of everything and just like a hard white background, and then there's still stuff passing in front of your view.
Yeah.
There's rail cars that are separating, and so you're either accidentally falling or getting hit by those the sort of those passing by on top.
Oh
It's
yeah.
it's a bit of a mess. But yeah, like I said, I'd be curious to see what other people thought. Oh, right. The preview looked like it had like like a 2D Ace Combat shooting section and a fighter
Cool.
plane. So I was like, oh, that would be really cool to play, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to that. Can't perfectly enjoy everything, unfortunately.
Find the gap. No, they didn't jump.
Yeah, that whole part's very frustrating. The jump timing is a little
Oh,
wonky.
decapitated.
Yep. So you either have to duck or you have to jump over them. You don't get a whole lot of time to react to it. Actually,
And it doesn't
looking
play
at it-
well. This looks fun as heck, man.
Maybe I need to go back and play it on easy.
Hmm.
Yeah. So that's what I played this week.
Cool.
That speed limit.
Well, we'll swap to the take a quick hot break, and then we'll be back with my gamerinos.
Sounds good. Thanks again, everyone.
All right. Well, this week I had only a couple games, but I didn't get too much of a chance to too deep into Nioh. We did a big just chatting stream, and then I wanted to do. I've been doing just chatting streams like most of the time, if I'm honest. I don't know if that's going to be the official stream for me. I got a couple ideas about what I want to do moving forward involving the Budsday Discord. So if you want to potentially be involved, keep an eye on the Discord, because we'll potentially be doing some commentary, some just chatting streams, but then popping in and seeing what people are playing in the Discord in real time. So if you want to, maybe get on that, we may have to do that. So with Nioh 2 here, the rest of this stream, I think it was 2 hours. That's like 3 hours. Wow. I played a long time on this opening level fighting this first dude. The game was like, run past this character, run past this enemy. And I was just a stubborn mother. Well, no, we spent a lot of time with the character creator too, didn't we? Yeah, we spent like an hour, if not more, on the character creator. But this opening dude, it's really funny. They're like, run past it, and I'm like, no, I want to beat him. And then after stream, I finally went to finish the remainder of the mission, and the same enemy ended up just being the boss after all. So yeah, it was just kind of one of those things where it's like, well, okay, it is what it is. So I got a lot of practice on him. I didn't die, and I kicked his boots. But I'm at a spot
It's
now.
kind of an interesting design choice to have that enemy right there, so close to the start of the mission, tell you to run away from it, and then circle you all the way back around again to actually have to defeat it.
No, it's not the same enemy. It's just the same mob.
Same mob. Okay.
You know what I mean? Like having like the Black Knight and another Black Knight type thing.
Gotcha.
And if you fought a Black Knight in the wild, and then if like Capra Demon boss versus Capra Demon in the Demon Ruins.
I understand. Okay.
Yeah. So I ended up just fighting him, and that was it. So while the character creator is going, essentially Nioh 2 feels very similar to Nioh 1. Nioh has phenomenal combat. People like to compare it to like a Souls game, but I fundamentally do not even feel it's a little bit like a Souls game. Maybe because there's like a stamina system and you have a third person kind of thing, I guess. But it is so much more the next evolution of a Ninja Gaiden game, and it has the Diablo loot system still, which drives me batty. I wish there wasn't a Diablo loot system to go off of, but it is what it is. Just watching, I gotta tell you, just watching this character creator makes me want to boot it up again. I ended up playing it for one of the nights that you were streaming. I was just lurking in your stream playing, and it only got to like the second level because that's as far as I really just played. But the game itself is so fun. This one feels almost a little bit more punishing in the stamina department.
Really?
Yeah, well, I don't know if you noticed, but I got to learn more. It's been a minute. People were offering help and tips and everything, and I appreciate when people are trying to teach me mechanics and whatnot when I'm trying to learn the game. But truly, the first time for me personally, the first time I play a game, I'm not ready for help yet, like I need to just fumble with the controls enough times where the basics become second nature. just this game is so complicated in that you have Dark Souls is attack, light attack, heavy attack, shield, parry. That's it. Nioh, switch weapon, single button press. Nioh, Nioh is attack, just like Devil May Cry. It's face button attacks, light, heavy. But then there are stances, and then you hold R1, and when you hold R1, you can press when you hold R1, you can press Y to go to whoa! Just got caught on my sleeve right there. let me go ahead and roll that down. If you press Y, the top of the button, the top of the controller to go to high stance, you press X to go to mid stance, and then you press A to go to low stance. And what this does, it puts you in different stances, and you have different move sets. When you go high, you do the most damage, but it takes the most stam. You do mid, you kind of have mid, and then low, you do very low damage, cool combos, but you can dodge more. You get different, sometimes different iframes. I don't know all the ins and outs, but it's fundamentally, you have three different, each weapon has three different move sets, you know what I mean? And they've also introduced a yokai move set as well, where you have your yokai ability, where you hold the right trigger and then you press the B button for whatever it is. This one is like the one I picked is a parry. It's like a magic parry, but it still takes the stamina. So you have to have stamina. It still does a stamina hit on you, even when you get the parry. You basically, it's like a block. You know what I mean? Apparently, the enemy, not apparently. We might watch this playback, and I'm gonna see all the mistakes that I was making now. But when the enemies do like a red flash, like the Sekiro brink, kind of move. It's like when you want to do a specific move. So when the enemies glow red, you have to hold the right trigger and then press B button at the right time, and they'll counter it. And then if you do it correctly, it puts them in like a stagger state, and you can actually do a yokai parry or a yokai counter, or whatever, where it does like basically a visceral attack against the yokai. And that's a brand new mechanic in Nioh too. That's kind of the biggest deal. There are also monster abilities too. So now I've only had this one again. I've only played a couple hours, and I most of my time was spent at the opening stage. So bear with my knowledge. Next week I'll have much more to talk about for sure. But when you also hold right trigger, you can also you can bind two abilities to your two heavy and light attacks essentially. And what this is you get two monster abilities. One is this the first monster you get is like this monkey yokai who has a spear that jumps in the air and like throws a spear at you, and then proceeds to attack. But when you get the yokai ability from him, it is that spear attack. So you can do like combo, and then do a jumping in the air, and you become the yokai and throw that huge spear down.
Sweet.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. So I'm sure there's way more to it, and that's new as well. So they took the cool combat of Nioh, and they really just they added more to it. So if you love Nioh, boy, I almost went with this. Look at my
that would have been great. Did they not have Heihachi hair?
You can not full. I love. I'm a sucker for. If you'll notice, I'm a sucker for male pattern baldness on my tough old dudes. It just always makes me laugh. Yeah, I love Heihashi's hair from Tekken. It is like a male pattern baldness mohawk. It's so good. Anyway, yeah. So the gameplay from what I've experienced so far is a blast. So there's also Flux as well. Flux is like a move, where you hit the Okay, let's back up. The way Nioh combat works is when you use your stamina or when you use your moves, your stamina bar will deplete, and then there will be a blue glow about you, and then if you hit it right when the stamina bar fills, so if you're watching, because it'll be like chunk, and then as soon as it'll refill on its own, it'll be like a light blue, and then as soon as that hits here, and it's the same effect of you'll see the blue mist around you. As soon as you see that, you hit the left bumper, and your character will I forget what they call them, what they call it, but essentially you kind of recover your stamina straight away, and you have to do that to dispel. The yokai will put down like a glowing aura around, and it saps your stamina. And if you don't do I'm forgetting what it's called, whatever that move is called when you cleanse, you cleanse the area. But then the flux move, you actually if you do if you hit L1 and then you'll recover your stamina, and then maybe it's R1, pardon. It's R1 that you do, because then if you keep holding it and you shift to a different stance, you'll then gain a stamina boost with the flexibility. Basically, what they want you to do is constantly be switching to different stances. They don't want you to stay in medium stance and go. If you treat this game like Dark Souls, you're playing it wrong. If you stay in medium stance and go attack, 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 dodge, attack, 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 dodge, you can get through a lot of it like that, but they want you to you eventually get more abilities. The other thing at the beginning here, I was stubbornly fighting this one dude over and over again, but they limit you on what you can actually unlock before you play certain missions too. So you straight up can't get some certain cool moves. But this game, they want you to stay in there. They want you to be like attack, attack, attack. Go to your medium attack and then do your medium attack parry, because a lot of the weapons get parries. I'm actually like the spear parry, super fun. They also have like disarm or swap places, so they want you to kind of like get in there when they attack, parry them, and then you put them off guard, because they also have a stamina system as well. It's called Ki, but they also have a stamina system, and if they're low, if it's a humanoid, you can walk up, hit the Y button, do a visceral attack on them, and then do big damage. But the yokais, you can't do that. If you deplete their stamina, you can only do the visceral attack if you do your yokai counter, or whatever it's called, against the yokai itself. But anyway, yeah, they want you to stay in there, and then when the enemy's going to attack you, switch to low stance, then you dodge out, then you come back in, and then you do your flux. So they kind of want you to always be fluxing. So your buttons are just kind of going nuts, man. I was trying to play it on keyboard and mouse. I still might, but it's so many different things that it was fun to play, because I got to say the guns and the bows and arrows are super fun in this game. Love it. Highly recommend it. The game just feels really grounded. It's hard though. It's extremely hard. I don't know if it's harder than Sekiro for me. I haven't played the whole thing. Nioh 1 was probably the hardest until Sekiro for me personally.
Damn.
I think so. There was an ability called Sloth though in the magic that you could like hit enemies with, and it would totally just make them not move, and you could just totally trash on them. This build, I'm doing the spear scales with HP, and I love HP, so I'm doing HP and magic to start off. I might get some strength in there. I'm using one of the new weapons. It's called the split staff. It's pretty fun, as well as the spear. So yeah, we'll see. I'm gonna keep playing it. Oh my god, look at my man.
Muscle thighs. You
can we're still in the character creator, I know, but they have a pretty deep character creator. I don't think I put here, what was the final look? Oh yeah, so you can even customize your different yokai forms, but I wasn't doing that one.
I was kind of annoyed with the tattoos until it seemed like they have a function for properly fading them into your skin.
Right. Yeah.
So otherwise it just seemed like it was pictures that were slapped on them.
We can jump ahead. I was still doing training. I guess I only fought this dude for a while, but thanks. We got the Valve helmet on. But you'll see, like, I'm trying to swap stances. So I'm in low stance right now. Sometimes, man, I don't know. I still need to play it more. But I felt some of it was very inconsistent on my dodges, and it was probably just me. Like, oh, right there, I promise you. I was even staying in low stance just to test it out, and I just had some serious difficulty sometimes. So because there's not iframes, like, there are iframes, but nothing like Dark Souls, right? So it's just kind of one of those things where, like, right there, I think I should have done the red. Did he do the red glow? Is that what happened? Let's see. No, that's just a regular one. Yeah, his HP was so huge. You could see him doing like no damage to him. So every time I died, I died a few times where he had like such low HP. Oh yeah, see right there, the red flash. See how he glue? See glue. So instead of dodging, I should have done my Okay, yo, let me pause right here. There are little pips, and every time you use it, you can't really tell the quality. But if I would have done that right there, I could have just done the counter, and then probably would have killed him. Because look, I would have parried him, and then he was low HP. So,
Gotcha.
But again, people were trying to help me out and stuff, but I need to just kind of learn the actual controls first, So I do appreciate all the buds coming in, but hopefully, like right there, just did it again. I should have parried him. And look, you not
really
required.
do need a foundation to start out with when you're jumping into a game for the first time.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Like our friend shout out Rep. She's playing Devil May Cry 5, and there was a couple times when I wanted to give her some tips while she was playing, but I messaged her afterwards because she was trying to like dodge a lot, and I just messaged her. It's like you can also use jumping attack or jumping as a viable dodge in DMC, but I don't want to just like message her and tell her that when she's just trying to learn the controls on stream with people are there. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's one of those things where I appreciate it, but sometimes I'll ask for help for sure. And now that I have a basis, now that I've had this a couple hours to just play by myself, and I can come back and be like, hey guys, how do I do this or how do I do that? And not just when you first come in, it's so hard to just get dumped with a bunch of info. You really just need to like struggle until you're like, okay, now I can accept help. But anyway, I shout out the friends. I look forward to our buddy Buibot. Shout out Buibot. He's playing this right now too. And Cloud just played it. Dragoon played it. So all the good buds are playing it. Cloud Valentino, shout out.
Cloud_Valentino.
Cloud_Valentino. Dragoon 108.
Yeah, I want to say yes.
Nice.
Dragon with a U.
Dragon with a U. So let me pop over here to my my press start. Okay. So the next game that I was playing is one that I had purchased the week before, and I didn't get a chance to play it. Well, it was Valentine's stream and just chatting streams and things of that nature. So it kind of is what it is sometimes, I suppose. Excuse me. But for me, I was playing some Super Mario 3D World, some Bowser's Fury. Now I had played I played Super Mario 3D World on the Wii U. I enjoyed it a whole lot. I know it's kind of a little bit controversial. Some people don't love it, but boy, I really do like that game. I'm probably going to keep playing it also. I'm playing through it just kind of offline. I just like it. It's so fun. I do love Mario Odyssey is my favorite Mario period. So look at the load time. Look at this load time though. Oh my goodness.
I know. I took note.
Let's just kick. Oh, here. I want you to see the actual opening. I think the opening is so fun. So I want you to see the intro. I want you to play it. They kind of do a throwback to Super Mario Sunshine. Bowser Jr. is the antagonist. He's kind of trying to betray a frame Mario, and everywhere you go, you see these ink M's, and he's once again you can actually do a co-op with him though. You can do this co-op, and the second player plays as him apparently. So you and Pelico, if you want, you can borrow this after I play it. If you want to stream it all, you all can play it.
And it's not PvP?
No, it's co-op. You'll see.
Okay. Their visual design is really gorgeous for this.
It's always good. They took the exact same look of Super Mario 3D World. All they did was they put it into an open 3D world Mario. Like seriously, if you love Mario 64, if you love Mario Sunshine, if you love Mario 64 and you love Mario Odyssey, I guarantee you. Well, because Sunshine is like more level based as well, but and it has FLUDD. Mario Odyssey is dynamite. Don't get me wrong. Cappy, where you can move and I just love Mario Odyssey's movement. It is the best Mario game, period. But this one feels so good. They straight up took Mario and Mario 3D World, and they put him in this. Everything is cats, by the way. I gotta. Yeah, I have like camera. I didn't save.
Whoa, a little.
So yeah, I didn't know what this was. I think he'll actually control. Even the trees are cats. I feel like they're doing like some sort of like experiment on what they're gonna have the next Mario be, you know? Because this is all one big world that you reveal the ink, or the inky bits, get revealed as you unlock the map. We'll see more. I just really, I loved playing this. I got to tell you, I love 3D Mario games though, so this was so fun to go back to. I truly love 3D Mario World as well. I like objective-based Marios. I think they're super fun. I actually think I prefer them, but seeing that, or just being dropped into this, it just reminds me how much I also truly love 3D Mario games, and it's so fun. I mean, I should know better because of how much I love Odyssey, but boy, oh boy, dude, if you love Mario, this game is so stinking fun. This is just kind of the intro that they're kind of showing us. They also changed it. They made his base run speed, or base walk speed, faster.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's considerably faster. It's like 30% faster if I recall. Right now I'm just trying to learn the controls, seeing what you can do. It's pretty classic Mario stuff.
And it's still basically the same controls with Odyssey as well, same movements, just with
this is
the
Mario
faster walk
64
speed.
controls. Yeah, this has been the same stuff forever. You got the different jumps, you have different sprints. No, Odyssey is even more. See, Odyssey has a cap right there. You could throw the cap backwards and instantly jump back up to where you just were. Yeah, Odyssey Mario is phenomenal. Cappy is amazing. But this one you have outfits, so you can get like the cat outfit, or you can get the boomerang bro, or anything like that. I didn't know what this was. Come to find out, those are specific blocks that only can be destroyed when Bowser comes. Look at this intro though. How great is this?
Let's go. Oh, that's so cool, adding the blocks.
So when he comes, yeah, this is what happens. The world dynamically changes, and I think it's time-based, from what I can tell.
Okay.
And he'll just kind of come back, and you'll see, so the shine, so right here, he'll destroy this. Oh, I missed that shine. That was my one-up. Oh, maybe not. No, so yeah, so now he blessed that shine. So you got to get these cat shines. If you're not familiar with the shines, you know, you get shines from Mario games, just kind of the collectibles, you know, star pieces or whatever. So we lit up this this lighthouse now, and that with the shine, and, oh, you know, he takes damage, walks away.
Oh no, his health. This is so cool.
Yes, I'm so looking forward to playing more. Oh, that was not a bad one. So then he just kind of chills, and he pieces out. Now this is the first kind of zone you're at, and from what I can tell, there's 3, maybe 4. I don't know for sure. Maybe there's more to be revealed, but you'll see the black goop around the outside there, and then this. So it kind of keeps us in the zone here.
Ah.
I shouldn't have jumped down here because I can't get back up here yet. So there is more to do here, but I didn't realize I was gonna get stuck and not be able to get back up.
Yeah.
But let me just kind of skip ahead. There are notches in the lighthouse, and you'll know when they're fully gone, or when you're fully done, because a flag will come shooting up through that lighthouse, and you're just totally done with that section. Essentially, we're gonna try to keep the audio going a little bit on this one, because I feel the audio is so good, it's worthwhile to have, so Cassette can hear as we're talking along, because it's just so dang delightful to hear. That might be a little loud. Let me normalize it. There we go. How's that sound for you?
Sounds good.
Okay. So the big difference with Mario 3D World is, so you get these abilities. Here's the cat upgrade. It allows you to have a melee attack. If you've never played Mario 3D World, you can also do a dive attack. I forget all the controls. The trot is so cute.
I love it.
You can also climb on walls. This game is very, very fun by itself. I really like 3D World, but the fact that they put it in a 3D environment just made it so much better. They have the coins as well, so you see at the bottom there's 5. So if you get all 5 coins and you get an additional shine, the way that they do this with I think I may be talking to somebody. It's always really funny. You never know who popped into the old Discord arena and chatting. But I think I may just be getting comfy with it as well. Bowser will come in at timed intervals, and at first you just kind of have to hide from him, but then you can, when you get 5 cat shines initially, you can get you can summon, or you can turn into Giga Cat Mario. And Giga Cat Mario is just like a big Mario, and then you actually just straight up fight him like a boss fight. So you got to jump around and do all those attacks. Oh my gosh, these cats right here are so cute. I think I'm definitely just chatting with somebody here. Oh no, here, so it starts to rain. So once it starts to rain, you can hear the music change. Yeah. And that's when Bowser's about to come. And when Bowser comes, he will essentially kaiju style come in and just start attacking you wherever you're at on the map.
Okay.
So I think I paused it here because I was talking to somebody. Let's see. Here we go. My friends turned into enemies. You can see the little kitty cat, the cute cats turned into enemies, so I had to run away from them. I was afraid. So I'm just kind of experimenting. I didn't know what was going to happen at this point. I see he had a new block that formed down there. It's mostly you just kind of have to survive until you kind of have more of those, until you have more of the bells, or the cat shines, I should say. This was just, so Bowser Jr., you can hold the right trigger, and oh, I'm about to get blasted right now, but I have invincibility from the star. Right there, you would normally get toasted, but thank you, Star. Yeah, and he just kind of pieces out after a while and goes away. Eventually you'll get 5. Once you collect 5 shines, you can fight him, and then it'll go 5, and then 10, and then I think it was 20, and now it says collect 40 of the shines. So when I'm at the 40 shines, I basically collected everything in this entire zone. Each one has like, each lighthouse has like five I think that you have to collect. So you'll see, and so right here, perfect example. Ah, that's perfect. So you'll see this one I just filled up that one shine. So once you fill up all these, then it will be done. And then it essentially, you have, each zone will have that many cat shines. So in my current playthrough, I have currently collected all of the cat shines for all of the lighthouses in this first zone. I could have gone to the next zone. It's going to be like an ice zone. So you see, this place only opened up once Bowser came in, because he made those bouncy blocks kind of come into play here.
So I had noticed that in another part of the gameplay that I guess you are able to store as consumables a bunch of different transformations, and when you lose one, you can choose another one to pop into, and I guess probably transform at will to react to certain environments, or... Yeah,
you may see it if I get hit, but if you see down at the bottom here how I have like a 5 under the bell, and then a 1 under the mushroom, and then the boomerang has 3, that is how many you actually have charged. And if you press that direction, if you press up on the D-pad, it will give you the option to use those. So this is the Tanuki. They just kind of give you power-ups. The cat one is just so good for platforming. As you can see, you can hold the button to climb up the walls and just move around. It's very effective. It's very effective to just platform around it. So I'm basically always in the cat shine, or the cat outfit, unless I need to perform some sort of like specific task.
Okay. That's
And
really
the
cool.
trot is so cute too. So you see, there's still two pips left in here. So this one's not fully done. When Bowser, it's lit up right now, but when Bowser comes, it will get. Oh, you can see here. This is a little bit. Once I got the first Giga Cat Mario, you can see I have 5 on here. Actually, that was probably at the end of that last one, but we'll bring it back up. You can see. Wow, that's so funny. This was an hour worth of gameplay, so maybe not. But once GigaCat or once Mario comes in, or sorry, Bowser comes in, he'll cover the whole world in sloppiness again. And you will have to re-shine up the worlds, and it will damage him. But like, for example, some of them will only. This is Plessy, by the way. Plessy was in Super Mario 3D World. It lets you. That's how you get the fast travel around. You can just ride Plessy and run around. This one, you jump. Every time you jump, I'm trying to get up there so bad. There we go. Every time you hit the jump button, it moves the jump or the platforms there. So they would have like a bunch of different ones come in. I didn't fully realize it that they would keep respawning new ability or new places for you to grab, new shines for you to grab. Once you once you kind of get it, so that's the thing. It's like they want you to keep replaying the same area over and over again. So they'll say like, I wasn't. It's like, okay, perfect example. See, it says 3 right here, 3 cat shines. I don't know if you saw in the upper right hand corner there. It's not a huge. Okay, see right here, it says it says I have 4. So it looks like I have 0 out of 4. When in fact, look at the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's actually an additional one that's hidden here. So they don't actually show you all of them that are here. So I thought I filled it up and I was like, oh, okay, I'm done. And then they're like, no, dude, Bowser's here. And so once you unlock it, so then now we have these new blocks with the jump, and you still get all your abilities. So you can still do all the cat abilities. You just get the extra jump when you float.
Interesting.
It's so stinking fun, man. This game is a delight to play. I highly recommend playing it. If you've never played Super Mario 3D World as well, that game is still super fun. It's kind of a shame that this is sold. If you touch the water, you lose this.
Interesting.
It's kind of a shame that this is not sold separately. But I understand why they did it, because they built a new game with the old engine, which is so wild that they didn't do an Odyssey DLC. Instead, they did this entire game in the old Mario engine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I wonder what the thought process was for that.
I don't know. I'm surprised Odyssey has never gotten a DLC or anything.
Yeah, I guess they wanted to justify the pricing for 3D World, maybe?
Maybe. I don't know. They've released Donkey Kong, same exact game, for $60. You know, they have no qualms about doing it in the past. So yeah, I don't really have a lot more to say at the time, but so far it is a delight. I've had a absolute blast playing it. It's beautiful.
Nice.
If you love Mario, man, this was so fun. Okay, this was a brand new one, and I got here. I've been to this zone a few times, right? Here, let me click over, and now they have a new one. Oh, I wanted to go to the other one over there, not that one. So here, oh, perfect example, dude. Mir and I were chatting. We were in the Discord. I'm just playing around. As you can see, it says I have 4 out of 5, but I know that there's more at this point. And I'm like, wait, okay, where are these other ones? Let's kind of go through the level again. You can see I need to bust up these Bowser bricks down at the bottom, so there's definitely one in there. But I'm kind of going through this, trying to learn. The bullet bills were not here originally, or the cat bullet bills were not here originally. So you kind of just go through and I played through the mission you play through the level a few times, and then they're like, oh, there's new things that are here that you didn't see the first time. So there's a big bouncy below, and look at this. I held the button down, I was like, wait a minute, there's a coin up there. Because I didn't have this block before, then I do it again, and I magically got this, and I was like, what the heck? No freaking way, I love video games. Yeah, it was so cool. Yeah, so I was just, I wish I was recording my audio, because I was just like, man, I love video games. And Mir and I were chatting, and I was trying to get into that. So down here, this is locked by a cage, and I was trying to get in and out, and I was up here. I got elevation. Look, I got elevation, and I just happened to see this mother freaking thing, and I'm like, what is that glowing? Man, I wish I had the audio recorded, but I'm like, what? What is that over there? I think Mir and I were chatting. So I float over there and I was like, wait, it's not a shine. Oh, it's a key. And then I just ran over it, knew exactly what it was so excited. Yeah, that was so funny. I was like, it's a key. Oh man. And then I forgot how to ditch there you go. Forgot how to ditch it. Yeah, man, it's just, if you love these type of games, like if you love Banjo-Kazooie and you love 3D Marios where you they don't give you tips or, they're just like, go find the stuff. And the thing is, they've given you enough. It seems you only needed 10. I almost lost it right there. Then I need 40 right now. 40 cat shines. So they obviously give you enough where you don't, they keep the requirements low enough where you can go around to each of the zones and play them, but I did a completionist method on this one where I wanted to kind of collect all of them before moving on, so I have not gone over to the ice zone yet, and there's even a fire one too that I've unlocked, but I haven't even gone there because I've just stayed in this exact location and done it. Let's see if we can get a Giga Cat Mario a Giga Cat Mario battle. Oh, here we go. So once you have enough shines, you can go and the Giga Cat bell rings. And then this happens. He goes Super Saiyan. And
I'm sorry, what?
Our boy goes Super Saiyan. Look, Mario's he becomes a lion. Them load times though. Here we go.
It's wild to me how long load times are on Switch. Okay. I'm into this.
Now the movesets are pretty limited, but he has kind of upgraded. There's goop on the ground you got to kind of avoid, and then he'll do these kind of charge attacks a few times. I did find, so here's this is the whole map though. Look, this is the whole map that we were over here. You see this? It's so cool, right? It's like miniature looking, but you're just big old Mario, so you can straight up just go and jump anywhere. You see on the left there is another bell, so if you do get hit, you lose the Cat Mario and you go into regular Mario. And if you get hit again, you go into Baby or Little Mario, but you can go and get another one. They usually give you one extra. He'll start doing the blast. You just kind of got to keep moving. He's pretty straightforward so far. He'll just kind of track you, and then he'll do a AoE on a ground attack, and then you just do the belly flop or belly pound 3 times because video games, and then there you go. I eventually got to the point where I just climbed. I climbed the really high spot and then just kind of hung out there. I don't know if I figure it out this time or not. Maybe not. Let me see. Excuse me, I lost my mouse cursor. Wow, look at that skip, and I just found another one. That was incredible. I was trying to attack him to see if you could. It wasn't working. Actually, he's already in this mode, so let's see. Oh, there you go. So I look forward to, this is another zone I haven't gone in yet, right? You can just hang out here and just kind of let him do his thing. Oh, he also upgraded, right? He's now got projectiles he shoots. It's all about just kind of avoiding. So yeah, actually there is more. I forgot. There are maybe 5 zones then. And look, a lot more goop. Maybe this is bigger than I thought. Who knows? I guess you could play, because people said this game was pretty short. Maybe if you just did the bare minimum to get through all the zones, it is. But I'm guessing if you want to do all the shines, then it's probably pretty substantial. Mm-hmm. I'm looking forward to finishing it then. Yeah, I haven't been in any of these maps. It's just so cool that this is the map. You're going to be playing this tiny Mario. I mean, look how small Bowser Jr. is floating next to you there.
I do like the scale in this game.
Yeah. It's super fun, man. If you love Mario, you got to check it out. It's really all there is to it. I guess we'll finish this one. Should we finish this fight out?
Sure.
Oh, and so while this is going, I think that was my final game of the evening.
Some pretty solid games to be playing the last couple of weeks.
I'm probably going to be playing the same games next week, so we're going to be back in 2 weeks. I'm going to be definitely diving in hard into Nioh. I'm going to be playing more of this for sure. Is there anything coming out in the next few weeks that you know about?
Not that I can think of at the moment. I know that we need to try out the project.
Yes, thank you.
Triangle strategy demo. So we're definitely gonna be trying that out, each of us. Very excited.
We're gonna try.
Probably gonna make sure to download that tonight.
Yeah, I definitely want to give that a try. I don't want to stream that. I want to learn. That's one of the ones where I just kind of like got to observe it and just kind of learn all the ins and outs. Yeah,
I agree with that.
Well, cool, man. I appreciate once again your company, your hangouts. You're a legend.
Same, dude.
You're a master.
No, that's you, dude.
Oh, sweetheart.
Oh, look at that cat rainbow.
The cat rainbow every time. Thank you for calling it out. Yeah. So that's going to wrap it up for us this evening. Cassette, thanks so much for hanging out, bud.
Thank you, man. Thanks for hanging out yourself.
And we'll hope to see you guys next time on Budsday today.
Have a good couple of weeks. We'll see you guys soon. Thanks for everything.
Cheers, buds. The recording has begun.
Welcome to the recording.
Welcome.
Welcome, good hunter, to another I was going to say podcast.
No, I liked it when you said when you said the welcome. I think you should keep that.
Welcome, good hunter.
Yes.
It always comes down to the hunter's helper to clean up after these sorts of messes.
Not Colonel. Kaz.
Miller.
Yeah.
That's why you're putting your hair up. Do you have your glasses? Oh, good. Oh, I'm getting bright. The sun is coming. Ah! At London Hamilton. Ah!
If you always follow the book, you'll be a bore.
I don't want to be a stick in the bud.
I tried so hard not to. Final audio test.
This is a final audio test.
The final audio test of the Central Bud Budscasting System. This is a test of the Central Budcast. This is the test of the Central Budcasting System. Ready when you are.